Hey, hey, hey. Come on in the room. It's time for Dr. Kre and me. Fix my camera. Tonight, we're going to be talking about germs, kids and germs. Oh. Hold on a minute. All right, I think that looks okay. I think you can see me okay. Hey, Kiana. How you doing? Thanks for coming to Dr. Kre and me. Tag a friend, tag a mother who has already had to go pick her child up from school. And school's only been in for a short time. Hey, Tanya. Hey. Welcome. We're going to get started, of course, at about 3-4 minutes after 7. So tag a friend, tag a mom who has had to pick up their child already from school because they've been sick. Tag a friend. Welcome. Did y'all get to see the clips today? I went live on my personal page because we were able to see it from my office. I did not have any glasses, but a couple of other doctors there did, so we shared the glasses and I was able to see it and I was quite excited about it. So who else is here? I see Kianda. I see Tanya. Who else? One more person I already own, but I can't see who you are. So say hey in the chat. Oh, hey. Hey. I can't see. Is that Miss Banks? Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. So if this is your first time watching Dr. Kre and me, you're in for a treat. We always have very fun topics. And tonight, since we are doing back to school, I thought it'd be great to talk about germs and kids. We're going to get started in about 1 minute. 1 minute, tag a friend. When we're doing when we're doing a show, I like for you guys to post in here the points. So tonight we're doing 5 things to know about kids and being back to school and having germs. Getting sick. There's I'm sure some first time kiddos going to school and mamas are very nervous about their kids having to go to school because they're expecting them to get sick, of course. So, and we're going to get started in 1 minute. But thanks for joining. You said you work with who for 5? You work with who 5 years old? You work around 5-year-old kids? Hey, Lacey and Chris. Thanks for joining. I can't tell that word. I work with something 5 years old, work around 5-year-olds. So you know all about the cooties that they get. So let's see. Yep, it's 7:05. You know who I am. I am Dr. Kre. I am a board certified family medicine physician, and I specialize in what's important to you by offering practical tips and healthy educational do's and don'ts. I try and empower you to live the best life that you can live, to have happier, healthier days ahead of you, and to just live in the fullness. So today we're going to talk about 5 ways that germs can affect the going back to school process. And since I love you, I will give you a bonus on top of that. Oh, you work at Head Start. Yes, 4 and 5-year-old kids. Bless your heart. So number 1, I need somebody to type number 1 in the chat. Number one is, face it, all kids have germs. All kids are germy. But when you're sending your kid to school, you never really think that it's going to be your kid that gets everybody else sick. It's always going to be somebody else's germier, nastier kid that's going to get your kid sick, right? But I got news for you. Your kid has germs just like everybody else. So somebody type in there, Tanya, can you type in there number 1, things we need to know about germs and kids going back to school is that all kids have germs. No matter how cute your baby is, no matter how loving, they are a ball of germs, just so you know it. Hey, Miss Keisha, thanks for joining. So, number one, all kids have germs. Where's my typer? Somebody type it in. Thank you, Tanya. So, number one, all kids have germs. Number two, germs aren't necessarily a bad thing. So, the germs are there to actually help them build up their immune system. So, number two is germs are going to help them build their immune system. Why do we need an immune system actually? So, your kid is just an example. Kid goes to school, kid gets sick with a cold virus. So now the next time that the kid gets that cold, they're going to be able to fight off that infection when they're faced with that same virus again quicker. So they won't be as sick. They won't have as bad of a fever. They won't feel as yucky. They can kind of bounce back faster. So we want them to get some germs in their life because that is going to help them build up their immune system. So number two is germs help kids build their immune system because we want them to be fighting back, because we don't want them to be 10 years old and getting a common cold and can't stay to school or can't go to school because they are sickly. Oh, it said, and test the strength of us. Oh, Lord, yes. So them being sick will actually test our immune systems as well. So make sure to know, number one, all kids have germs. Number two, somebody type in there. Number two, thanks, Ms. Banks. Germs help build their immune system. Number three, if you have kids in school, do you know what your school's protocol is for sick kids? Like some schools, the kids if they have a fever as high as 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit, they're going to call you. So make sure that you know, like, okay, what's considered sick at school. So it's not going to just be throwing up. It's not going to be diarrhea. It's not going to be like they're whining and I can't get them to stop. I really don't know what's going on with them. They usually have some physical parameters to let you know, hey, we called you because Katie is sick, and Katie is sick because she had a fever. A lot of times it's either 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit or it's 101 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're a parent, your kid started a new school. Hey, Angie, thanks for joining tonight. If you're a parent and your kids starting daycare for the first time or they're going to kindergarten for the first time, it's very important to know, hey, what do you guys consider sick? Because every place has a different set of rules. And a lot of them, if they're governed by DHR regulations or the county regulations, they usually have some similar guidelines. So number one, know that all kids have germs. Number two, germs are going to help them build their immune system. Number three, know what is considered sick at school, and that means what degree Fahrenheit. What do your kid have to be doing in order to warrant a call that you're gonna have to leave your job to pick the kid up? Because that's very important. A lot of people may not have the time to leave work to go pick up a child, or if they pick them up, they can't take them back to work with them, so they have to kind of have a backup plan. So just in case Katie gets sick, we have to have a plan or whatever. So number four, stress good hygiene. They're kids. They get into everything. Zoe is always like scratching here and there and putting her finger up her nose. You're like, who taught you that was what you were supposed to be doing? That is not clean. Go wash your hands. All day long we're saying, go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Don't dig in your nose and then put it in your mouth. They're just inquisitive, kids at that time when they're getting ready to go to school. So you never can tell what they're going to be into, what they're going to be touching. And make sure, number four, that you teach your kid good hygiene practices. So if they're doing good hygiene stuff at home, you know that when they go to school, they'll be taking those same good habits to school, because everybody's not teaching their kids good hygiene practices. Make sure they know, don't drink behind Katie or, Sally or Miss Smith or whoever. That's a whole nother long conversation on what your kid can get from drinking behind somebody. We don't want them getting cold sores. We don't want them getting colds. We don't want them getting all kind of things that you can pick up by drinking behind somebody, by using the same fork. So stress that, hey, this is your lunchbox. This is your lunch, baby, and I want you to use your things. Make sure you wash your hands. hand sanitizer if it's an option. However, as long as the kids are getting it washed off. So number one, all kids have germs. Even your sweet, cute, beautiful child is a ball of germs. Number two, germs will help them build their immune system. Number three, know what's considered sickly at your school, because if you're going to be missing work and missing money, we need to know what's going to warrant that and who is your backup plan, so that if it happens, because it's going to happen in the beginning, it's inevitable because their body is being kind of shocked by all of the germs that they're exposed to. Number four, stress good hygiene, hand washing and all of that kind of stuff. And number five, know what warrants the kid being able to come back to school. So if we have to go pick up Zoe today from school because she had a fever of 101, well, we know that she has to be 24 hours of fever free before they'll let her go back to school. So no, you have to understand what is needed to allow your child to come back to school as well. So are they going to have to be out for 24 hours? So if you go pick them up on a Tuesday, they got a fever, you already know they're not going to be able to at least come back until Thursday. So number five is know what parameters will allow the kid to return to school. Do they need a handwritten doctor's excuse to say, yes, I saw Zoe today. Dr. Boyd saw Zoe today. She was fine. She didn't have a fever today. She's free to go back to school. So know that there are some things that may keep the child from coming home for half a day. If they sick during a half a day, they may not be able to jump up and go to school the next day, which of course then affects your pockets, affects your job performance, affects all these things, because you got to figure out what to do with this sick child. So number five, do they need an excuse or not to return back to school, and just why? So make sure that you're very abreast, because no one plans for their kid to get sick. No one plans that at all. So you're like, okay, my kid is sick, and does that mean I'm going to have to take off 2 days of work? Well, I've only been in work at this job for 90 days. They don't give you time off during your 90 days. Okay, Keisha got a comment. So teach the kids now, if not, that they become the adults. They come to work sick. Yep. When they should stay at home. Teach your kids to stay at home while they're kids, so that when they become adults, they will make good decisions. They won't be spreading germs in the workplace. That's very, 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 very important. Which was a part of my bonus that I was going to say. Make sure that you know that it does not help the situation to pre-medicate. You know your child had a fever last night. You get them up the next morning. You give them some Tylenol. You give them some ibuprofen to get them through part of the day. Well, if they're infected and they're contagious, you got to know that other kids are going to be exposed to that. You wouldn't want anybody doing the class like that and your kid in return gets sick. So don't do that for your child. Don't just send them to school. See if they get you at least a half a day of work, so it won't be counted against you. You know all those little tricks of the trade that we can come up with as parents and say, okay, well, they look fine when I saw them last night. No, you teach them that it's okay. Being sick and taking care of yourself is okay. That is a part of having great self-care. Because a lot of times I know I'm guilty of it. I like to work. I do not like to miss work. So if at all possible, I got to be real sick if I'm canceling my day. But if I'm sick, how can I help my patients? I don't want to get them sick. But thankfully, I've been around so many germs that I got this kind of immune system like armor that I got going on. So I rarely get sick, praise the Lord. I'm knocking on wood here or whatever. So just know that that self-care is everything. You can't get sick and keep on going and expect yourself to automatically get well. You may need a day in the bed. You may need some fluids. You may need to hydrate. You may need all of that. But just know that the habits you make as a kid and the habits that you build all along the way will affect you in your day to day. And you want to be able to be the best worker, co-worker. You don't want to come to work and be like, dog, there she goes. She coughing again. She's sick. No, you want to be able to do well, live well. That's what we're doing. When you know better, you do better. So we're teaching you better. Hey, Miss Donna Glenn, I see you snuck on in there. Thanks for putting number 5 up. So I got off on my soapbox. Sorry. So number 1, all kids have germs. Number 2, but germs help us build our immune system, and we need them. Number 3, know what the school considers sick. Is it a temperature of 100.5, temperature of 101, throwing up one time, diarrhea one time, whatever it is? Ask as many questions as you can. Hey, Tiff, thanks for joining. So number 4, stress good hygiene to your kids. They can never be too young. I mean, we got a little stool in the bathroom now. Zoe pushes the stool up. She got her soap there. She's going to wash her hands. Otherwise, you can't come to my table with dirty hands. She knows that, and she's 3 years old. So we have to start making those habits. Start early with your habits so you can, good habits become good actions and just practice. Because how many times you've been sitting by the bathroom at the movie theater or somewhere and you hear the toilet flush, but you don't hear any water come on. And you're like, I know good and well that person did not just use the bathroom, whatever they did in there, and then wash their hands. Don't let your child be that child. Don't let your kid be that child. Hey, Tiffany Williams Thompson, thanks for joining too. So don't let your kid be that nasty kid. Be the one that's like, I'm really washing my hands, kind of like a type A-ness. There's nothing wrong being type A. And for our bonus, make sure that you know that our bonus is this. Make sure to know what your school rules are as far as leaving medicines there. So say, for instance, good case in point, a lot of preschools will not allow you to just drop off medicine, your Tylenol for the day. Well, she had a little fever yesterday. Here's some Tylenol just in case. No. That does not work. They usually have some elaborate form that you have to fill out to say this medicine is for XYZ. They need to take it every blah, blah, blah hours for this many days. And at the end of those 7 days, you're going to have to come get this medicine. That's true of Tylenol products, ibuprofen products, even diaper rash ointment. You can't just leave medicines there. We were having some sleep issues with Zoe, and she was having to take a little bit, something to kind of help her to kind of slow down at nap time, but they would not. I took that medicine up there, and the lady was like, ma'am, you can't just bring this medicine up there. And I'm like, what in the world? What's the rule? I need the form. Y'all do know my doctor. They ain't care nothing about that. They just wanted that form filled out so that they could be in compliance with DHR. So know that if your child gets sick, even if it's an antibiotic or not, know that the school has some kind of rule in place to know how to do it, when to do it, how long to do it, because you do not want them overdosing your child because they're used to giving X amount at home and they got a 7-year-old and your baby 3 years old. That's a different dosing calculation for kids. So make sure that you're mindful that kids are going to get sick. That's the expectation. But them getting sick won't be sick for long. They are getting sick so that they can build themselves an immune system. So, Tiffany says, exactly, in pre-K, state will come and check the rooms and backpacks for medicine. School will get cited for medicine and book packs. Right. So you have to be very sure that what you're doing and what you're sending and why you're sending it, and then that it's for a set amount of time. When that time is up, they will give you your medicine back whether you want it or not. It poses a risk for other kids. Yeah, other kids getting bags and stuff and take it, and then you don't want to be the cause of some child overdosing on Tylenol because kids are inquisitive. They answer everything. It wouldn't be kids if they weren't. So just be mindful that we want to treat people like we will treat others like we want to be treated. So I wouldn't want nobody leaving drugs around so Zoe could get into them. No ma'am and no sir. So I was very happy to know that they had such a strict protocol, and we just politely went back and did whatever we were needing to do, fill the paper out, got a letter from the pediatrician, and was able to get that done for the time that we needed to have it. So know that all kids are dirty and germy, but we love them so much. They're so sweet and they're so loving, but even in their lovingly self, they're dirty. So anybody have any questions, any comments or concerns? I hope y'all got to see the eclipse today. It was so amazing. Just think we will never hardly, maybe in our lifetime, see it again. So that's kind of awesome. The 5 points of how germs and kids and going back to school, how that all relates together. The points are in the in the comment section. And because I love you, I always give you a bonus. And tonight's bonus was, make sure to know the rules on what medicines, that how they store the medicines while they are there in the facility, so that it's not a risk for your child, and it's not a risk for other kids. Because if it's like my child, she know that I'm supposed to take this little pill at this time. And if she knows the bottle, she knows what it look like, she's going to be in there trying to get in there because, no, ma'am, it's time for me to take my medicine. I know that it's time. If y'all don't have Zoe's, okay? So make sure you leave the information with who needs to be left with, and then go from there. So if there are no questions, this is kind of light. We've had some deep conversations lately, and I thought this would be fitting for back to school, since we are in Alabama now. We're in our second week of school. So if there are no other questions, we didn't do bad. It's 7:21. You know who I am. I'm Dr. Kre. I am a board certified family medicine physician, and I specialize in what's important to you. Through my practical tips and educational fun facts, I help to empower you to live the most healthiest, lovingest, and fullest life that you can live. So here, through me empowering you, you can go on and empower others, because, ignorance is no longer an excuse. So now that we know better, we do better. I will see you. Oh, you can follow me on Facebook at Dr. Kre. That's DOCTORKRE. That's Dr. Kre on Facebook. Tag a friend, tag a frustrated mom, because I know there's some out there because they are upset. They got to go get their kid from school. And I will see you guys on next Thursday as we talk about something fun. And I hear Zoe starting to come down the steps. So that means it's time for me to go. Peace to the people. See you later. Thanks, y'all.